Welcome back to Return Trajectory. Well, now today we are launching the Morgas, the massive orbiter and return gravimetric and seismic survey vessel. This is designed to go all the way back to Minmus once again, unmanned. It's got 8 probes. 8 of those probes, actually all 8 of those probes, have 2 seismic survey units and 2 gravimetric survey units. So the goal is to get a gravimetric survey from above the landing site and while on the landing site, and 2 seismic surveys while on the ground. That way we get all of the seismic survey data and the rest of the gravimetrics that we need. Now I know that I have done some of the scans above those particular biomes, specifically on our way out from our last mission. So the goal is, if I do land on a biome that I have scanned from orbit, I'm going to do double gravimetrics science on the ground, because it takes more fuel to land on the ground and get that data, whereas if I want to, I can send another unmanned probe and do a flyover of that biome again. And luckily, because I do have all of those biomes marked with flags, landing is going to be really easy. Now we're deorbiting this last stage from our standardized large-scale launcher. It's basically what I'm going to be using from now on to get large payloads into orbit. And boom. There goes that stage. Now we're back in orbit with the Morgas, deploying our solar panels and our heat radiators. We don't want to overheat. Activating our skipper engine. Just continuing to rotate. And we're going to go ahead and target Minmus and see if we can swing around the planet until we get to position for our exit burn. I put down a maneuver node about where I thought I should be doing the burn, but I turned out that I didn't even use it. I was like, why even bother? I don't even use these maneuver nodes most of the time anyway. Not for around Kerbin anyway, it's too easy. Beginning our exit burn. Bam! All the way up to Minmus. We're gonna correct our inclination. See if we can get our approach just a little bit closer. There we go. And we'll just go ahead and swing out from Kerbin. Enter the sphere of influence. Adjusting our orbit, we want to drop around the right side of the planet. I don't have flags turned on at the moment. There we go, 7 kilometers. I'm just going to go ahead and aim our solar panels at the sun. There we go. Coming in on the periapsis. Braking burn. And that stage ran out of fuel. But we're still on an ejection trajectory. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn around. See if we can eject this thing and get it to deorbit. There we go, ejected, switching to the bottom stage. I did put probe on it, so I can control it. And we're going to go ahead and retrograde burn. There it goes. Alright, we're going to go ahead and switch to our Poodle engine and begin, well, finish our our capture burn here. Man, look at that view of that galaxy. That is gorgeous. And right here, I'm just trying to adjust my orbit. I want to get my orbit at around 30 kilometers by 30 kilometers. And unfortunately, that probe that I did eject did not have enough delta V from those separatrons to be able to deorbit itself. We were coming in too fast. So that's going to be ejected from Minmus, and I'll have to send out a recovery ship later on to recover that. But for now, we're just going to keep tweaking our orbit. Next thing we need to do is go ahead and deploy our first probe. They pop out just like that. They've got solar panels, antennas. You can see the scientific gear on there. Their first stage is based off of 2 very small RCS tanks. Now what I'm planning on landing on is that flag right there. You can see me aiming at it. Now I do have to compensate for Minmus's rotation. So we're going to come up to the Minmus, looks like the lesser flats for this one. And I'm only using RCS on that back section. The first thing I do need to remember to do is I've got that small cylindrical RCS tank in the front. And that one is designed for docking and exiting up into Minmus's sphere of influence, or into its orbit. And that was ejecting that last stage, engaging the liquid fuel engine, and finishing the rest of our deceleration burn in preparation for landing. I like using those blue decouplers because parts go everywhere, but I only use them if I know I'm on a suborbital trajectory, because we don't want space debris. Got those spotlights on our lander this time. We learned from using the Trinity Mark I and the Mark II that, hey, proper distance on the landing gear and, landing lights that actually work is a good idea. So the goal is to get as close to these flags as possible. Since I did, put them down, I know if I land literally on top of them or very, very close to them, I will get the biome that I need. And Minmus's gravity is so low, it's really easy to do this. There we go, touchdown. Morgas probe 1 is good. So let's go ahead and get our seismic data and our gravimetric. Looks like we landed there and got gravimetric data. Let's go ahead and switch back to the Morgas and get our next probe ready to depart. Now, right here, I did have some loading issues with just the ridiculous part count on the Morgas. It was like 200 something, but with all these mods installed, my game isn't exactly running all that fast. So, as soon as it wants to load, anytime now. Anytime now. Come on. Load. There we go. Now, looks like I've already ejected from the Morgas and shot towards my next destination. And it looks like that was the second landing site from the Trinity 2 that we're heading into now. It looks like I've already ejected. No, I still have it on the back. I haven't ejected my primary propulsion module yet. We're pre-prepping the liquid engine. Just about used up there we go. And engaging liquid and coming down. Doing these landings with these probes helped me a lot with getting my precision landing down, which should help once I start making bases on the moon and stuff. Coming in on the next flag. Just kind of hopping around. There we go. Practically landed on top of it. Seismic data and gravimetric data harvested. There we go. Actually, yeah, we want the on-the-ground gravimetric data from that one. So we're going to switch back to the Morgas as soon as it wants to load. Again, same issue, just a big part count. I probably should have cut my video here, but there we go. Looks like we've got a probe separated. And deployed, and we're going to come down on this flat area. Now this one I forgot to actually turn off the RCS storage tank on the top of this one. So I was using RCS from not only the back, but the front as well, which was a bad idea, and I just checked that there. So I was like, we're coming in too fast, so I had to eject these real quick. Popping landing gear, getting those lights ready. Ejected that. Boom, those hit the ground. Coming down, and brakes. All right, we've landed a little bit far away from it, but still enough to where it is on the same biome. Since this is a flat, it's really easy to land on the same biome. Getting our gravimetric and seismic data, switching back to the Morgas again. Ooh, it loaded fast that time. So we're going to go ahead and eject the next probe. There we go, a little bit of lag there. And go ahead and retro burn that one. This is all on, looks like we've completed one full orbit with the Morgas, and we're already deploying our 4th probe. So the goal was to, just drop these things down on the surface as fast as I could. like the Trinity Mark II, this is pretty much just a speed run to get all the science that we can as quickly as we can. Minmus Highlands, the one biome I absolutely hate finding on Minmus. But now I know how to. Just look for those dark areas, that dark patch. Pre-prepping our final burn engine. There we go, ejecting those. Lights on, gear engaged. And coming down to the Minmus Highlands. All those other markers are my other flags, and purple diamonds are the other probes that I've dropped down. It's funny, Minmus is so small, sometimes you can see all your stuff across most of the planet. And almost landed on the flag that time. That's good landing. And there we go. Touchdown. Seismic data. Seismic data. Gravimetric. Ooh, good. Healthy gravimetric data. All right, switching back to the Morgas. Next probe. Ejecting. Deploying. Disabling and preparing to retro burn. There we go. 4 times time acceleration for that one. We're gonna aim for that one. It looks like the lowlands, if I remember correctly, for that particular biome. Leaving the Morgas behind. Minmus lowlands, yes. Just using the RCS to slow ourselves down and tweak our landing spot somewhat. Ejecting, switching to liquid, and coming down once again. You could hear those last little pieces of debris smacking into the ground. Just coming in on the lowlands and slowing down. Those spotlights are great. They let me know exactly where the ground is. Although having that flag marker there really helps. And come on, come on, come on. There we go. No, don't fall over. All right, seismic and gravity data harvested. All of them are maxed out. Switch back to the Morgas again. We've got 3 more probes. So this is probe number 6. Retro burning automatically. And where are we going? We're gonna go for, well, we might as well go for the one right below us. Or not. Let's go for those. Those two are close together. We'll go for that flat area and the slopes, because they're really close together. Because I've got the Midlands and the poles that I still have to go to. So this probe is going to have to do double duty. Duty. And I'm going to go ahead and slow down. Minmus Flats. Whoa, a little bit overzealous on that burn. Yeah, again. Ah, almost land on the flag again. Return trajectory. Looks like we've gotten the gravimetric data from here, but not the seismic. Since we have gotten the gravity from the ground, from here, and since I know I landed on both of these biomes with the Trinity Mark II, because it had the gravity sensor data, luckily we are going to get the full amount of gravity data from this area, but we'll be missing on just a little bit of the seismic data, but that's not that big of a deal. Because we only have 2 more probes, and those have to be used for the Midlands and poles. Oh, no. Okay, so fold those in, and great. We've crashed the probe, but it's still intact. I'm gonna... Well, the gravity's low, so I can just squirt off of here and float back down to the ice lake, I guess. And I got brave here and did it at 4 times time acceleration and just kind of hopped down over the surface like that. There we go. And we're gonna go ahead and retro burn, halt our lateral velocity, and brake and land. Solar panels redeployed. Just double checking our science and switching back to the Morgas. All right, next probe deploy. Now, since we just came over sunrise, this one is going to go for the North Pole since we are on the Terminator line. And that'll mean I'll have sunlight the entire way there. So I'm just using the advanced nav ball right now, aiming at that triangle. And that will slowly adjust to orbit. But I noticed just about here that my RCS was getting low and I didn't want debris when I ejected that stuff. And I didn't want to use the RCS that was in the top of the probe. So I changed my trajectory to where whatever I ejected would hit the ground. And I went ahead and ejected it, and there we go. I'm going to use the liquid engine on the rest of the way. It is quite a bit of energy to expend to get a massive inclination change like that. But not on a planet like this. Since the gravity is so low, it's rather easy to do. Just going to go ahead and start slowing down. Gonna land on that flag. Easy, easy way to. You can actually see all those debris. 7 pieces of debris when I eject it, because it was 4 micro RCS blocks, the decoupler itself, and then 2 of those very small RCS storage tanks. If you're wondering where to get those, I do have the link in the mod description. That's from the RLA Stock-alike mod. It adds a lot of really good parts that are very small, but aren't game breaking. They still relatively follow the same guidelines for stock equipment. I'm gonna go ahead and drop down on this Minmus Poles flag, get all the gravity and science data. And it's like one of my lights didn't come on. With all these things, actually building these probes and programming all the action groups, there's always a small margin for things not working like I think they should. And gonna go ahead and pop that last probe out, deploy it, and pick our next target, which will be that Midlands area. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the RCS just like all the other times and retro burn with that RCS field. Leaving the Morgas behind, and we're coming in towards our final landing spot down here. Don't want to quite hit the ground. It looks like there's a ledge or a slight hill range coming up, and I don't want to smack into it at, way too fast to land. So we're still using our RCS right here. Just slowing down. Slowing down. Nine kilometers out, 122 meters a second. And we're out of RCS. We're going to eject those. Switch to our fuel engine for the last part. You can see those things getting lit up by those spotlights. Looks a bit eerie. And coming down on the Minmus Midlands. $900 meters away, 800. Looks like I have scanned this area above the Midlands. Minmus Midlands. 2 M's, it's too damn hard to say. Just adjusting our descent. Coming in real slow on this one. And getting that nice close landing to our flag. Awesome. So seismic data, gravity data we haven't gotten, so we're going to go ahead and redo that and switch back to the Morgus. We've got all 8 probes landed from one ship. Switch you back to the daytime. Now the Morgus only has 30 units of electric charge without the probes, so it's pretty much relying on its own power source from those solar panels. But unfortunately, we've run out of time. We're going to have to see the end of this mission in the next episode of Return Trajectory.